back, everyone. Thanks for sticking with us here on our Friday morning, 7:18 right now. And this morning we are featuring a San Diegan from a small town in North Carolina that has found success in many different industries. Producer, author, Quentin T. Harris, joining us now to talk about his career and message for those who dream big. Quentin, thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
When I saw your resume, you could say, there are a lot of things to talk about, and they range so many different industries. I mean, I think it's wild that you've jumped from TV to writing books to a winery. Tell me about what brought you to this point where you feel comfortable jumping into these different industries.
I've always been fascinated with being in the entertainment industry, from being a young kid with a mic in my hand.
That's right.
Being in the church. I always knew I wanted to just be doing something in the industry, so I've always worn multiple hats, and I've literally been this way since I was a little kid, so I feel like I've been walking in my purpose since I was like 3 or 4 years old.
So when you were in North Carolina, was that kind of the immediate goal to get to the West Coast, to start in that?
Well, I actually was staying in Atlanta before I moved to the West Coast, so I always wanted to, coming to the West Coast, I wanted to see if I could hang with the big boys of Hollywood. So I'm finally here, and I feel like I'm doing an amazing job. So that wasn't the start, but now that I'm here, God is just opening doors left and right.
You did it. You're hanging with the big boys. We're looking at some of your projects on the screen here. Tell us about the shows. I saw you're executive producer of a couple reality shows.
Yes. So I started on. I was a cast member on Chasing Atlanta, which is on Chasing Reality. I did 3 seasons on that show, and when I moved to the West Coast, I wanted to still be a part of the brand, so I branched out and became an executive producer, and now I am on season 3 of Chasing LA. So this is 3 seasons later.
There are probably a lot of people at home who think that they don't have the ideas or don't have maybe the connections to make a show or to produce a show or really to get their project off the ground. Any advice for them?
My advice would be to just jump out there and start somewhere. Find a team, find someone who is like-minded just like you, and just start. Dreams are real. That's what my whole brand is about, is just jumping out there and starting.
And once these projects got off the ground, was that the launching point for the books? Tell us about your writing.
Oh my goodness. So the writing came about, so many people from my small town of North Carolina was continuously asking me, how am I in rooms with Tyler Perry, and how am I in rooms with different people? So I started writing about it so that I can say it one time.
That's perfect. You don't have to retell the story, right?
Right.
So this is one of your books, right?
Yes, that's the first book. The Dream I Chose to Chase is the first book that I wrote. My second book is my affirmation book. I wanted something to just continue to charge you when you are chasing your dreams, because sometimes we faint. Sometimes we stop, and I wanted something to encourage you to continue to keep going.
And maybe in your off time, you enjoy a little bit of wine here and there, right?
I do enjoy a little bit of wine here and there.
I saw that it's a watermelon.
Yes, it is a watermelon bubbly sweet wine.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Thank you.
How did that come to be? Do you approach a winery and say, hey, I've got this idea?
That's pretty much how it happened. I met someone who I collaborated with, and they knew someone in the Temecula area, and one thing led to another, and here I am with my own dream wine.
Look at that.
Yes,
it's on the screen there. Wine. So can people get that wine when they go out to the wineries?
Yes, you got, well, right now I'm just selling it from me based on my social media. So all over my social media, everywhere. Quentin T. Harris, you can get my dream.
Tell us where to find you.
Yes, you can find my wine everywhere on all of my social media at Quentin T. Harris.
Sweet. And for projects that are coming up from you, what can people expect? I mean, you got a lot of things in the air right now. One of those reality shows is in production right now.
Yes, so I am currently filming my new reality show produced by me. It's titled Love in LA, and I'll be showcasing 5 different Black LGBT couples, and just showing them navigating throughout the entertainment world and throughout their everyday lives, and just going deep into what we see now on reality TV. So I wanted to change the narrative. So yes, I'm super excited about my new show, Love in LA. It will be coming out at the end of the summer. So yeah. yeah, stay tuned for that. You will hear and see more about that on my social medias at Quentin T. Harris.
There's not a lot, when we look at the reality TV landscape of Black LGBT.
Yes, and it's positive. It's always in a negative light.
I'm assuming you want that visibility on TV.
Yes, I want to showcase us in a different light. Like I said, I wanted to change the narrative. I want to showcase us doing positive things. Everything isn't negative. And that's what my brand is about: chasing positive things, doing positive things.
I love it. Quentin T. Harris.
Yes.
I imagine we'll have you on in the future.
Oh,
and the projects are just going to get bigger and bigger.
Oh, I hope so. I received that.
We appreciate you being with us.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you
for having me.